Today's topic is one that has gripped the world's attention for more than a year now. The war in Ukraine has resulted in countless lives lost, immense destruction, and incalculable suffering. As we all know, Russia's intervention in the conflict has only intensified the violence, and the world is left wondering, what is the real reason behind this brutal conflict? Now, we'd like to ask you to ponder a few questions. Why did Russia invade Ukraine? Is it all about politics and ideology, or is there something more sinister at play? Is it possible that the true motive behind this conflict is something far more tangible and valuable than mere political power? As we explore this topic further, we'll uncover a shocking truth. The real reason for the war in Ukraine is rooted in the East Ukraine's vast and rich minerals and commodities. The stakes are high, and the greed for these resources has led to one of the bloodiest conflicts in modern European history. So, join us as we dive deep into this topic and uncover the hidden motivations behind the war in Ukraine. Thank you for tuning in to Geopolitics and Money, the #1 channel where finance, commodities, geopolitics, and investing intersect. Hit that subscribe button now and make sure to turn on notifications so you'll never miss a new episode. To fully understand the current state of the war in Ukraine, we must first look at its origins. In 2014, the Ukrainian government was facing widespread protest over corruption and a pro-Russian stance. In response, President Yanukovych fled to Russia, and the country held new elections that saw a pro-Western government come to power. Russia was not happy with this outcome and saw it as a direct threat to its interests. In February 2014, pro-Russian separatists in Crimea seized control of the region and held a referendum to join Russia. This move was condemned by Ukraine's government, as well as Western countries and NATO, who saw it as a blatant violation of international law. In response to Russia's actions, the West imposed economic sanctions, and NATO increased its military presence in Eastern Europe. However, Russia continued to support separatists in Ukraine's eastern regions, leading to a full-scale conflict that has been ongoing for more than 7 years. Russia has been accused of providing military and financial support to separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine, as well as annexing Crimea. The West has responded with economic sanctions against Russia, and NATO has increased its military presence in the region to deter further aggression. Starting in March 2021, Russia began amassing a large military force of up to 190,000 soldiers at the borders of Ukraine. Despite initially denying any plans to attack Ukraine, Russian officials suddenly announced the invasion just one day after recognizing the Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic as separate states from Ukraine. The Federation Council of Russia also authorized the use of military force on the same day, allowing Russian soldiers to enter both territories. On February 24, 2022, the day after the announcement, Russian President Vladimir Putin declared a special military operation aimed at demilitarizing and denazifying Ukraine. In his address, he questioned Ukraine's legitimacy as a sovereign state and claimed that Ukraine was governed by neo-Nazis who persecuted the ethnic Russian minority. Shortly after the announcement, Russian airstrikes and ground invasions began along multiple fronts, including the north from Belarus, the northeast from Kharkiv, the south from Crimea, and the southeast from Donetsk and Luhansk. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky responded by declaring martial law and a general mobilization as Ukraine's military and civilians prepared to defend their nation against the Russian invasion. While the accusations of Ukraine being ruled by neo-Nazis are certainly concerning, our focus today will not be on verifying their legitimacy. Instead, we will turn our attention to what lies beneath the ground in eastern Ukraine, an area that is at the center of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The East Ukraine region, particularly Donetsk and Luhansk, is home to vast and rich deposits of minerals and commodities. This region is known for its large reserves of coal, iron ore, manganese, and other valuable resources that are crucial for industrial production. Additionally, the Sea of Azov, which borders the eastern regions, is rich in oil and natural gas. It's no secret that access to these resources is a driving force behind the conflict. Both Ukraine and Russia have a strong interest in controlling these valuable resources as they are essential for their respective economies. The conflict in eastern Ukraine is, therefore, not just about politics, ideology, and sovereignty, but also about access to these valuable resources. There's another very important aspect of the conflict that's been largely overlooked: the successful execution of the European Green Deal, which aims to make the EU carbon neutral by 2050, is heavily reliant on the minerals and commodities present in eastern Ukraine. The transition to renewable energy and the move away from fossil fuels requires a significant increase in the production of batteries, solar panels, wind turbines, and other technologies that rely on critical minerals such as cobalt, lithium, and rare earth elements. These minerals are found in abundance in eastern Ukraine and are crucial for the production of clean energy technologies. However, the EU's current supply chain for these minerals is dominated by China, which poses a significant risk to the security of the EU's clean energy transition. The conflict in eastern Ukraine, therefore, has implications for the EU's energy security and the success of the European Green Deal. In 2021, the EU formed a partnership with Ukraine regarding critical minerals located in eastern Ukraine, which are crucial for the EU's energy transition. However, there have been referendums in the region on whether to join Russia or not, making the issue more than just political. The EU's partnership with Ukraine regarding these minerals is essential for the success of the Green Deal. America is also involved in the conflict by arming Ukraine, and American companies are benefiting from Europe's energy crisis due to the EU's transition to low-carbon technologies. The EU's list of critical minerals includes 30 minerals, 21 of which are located in the Donbas region, making the outcome of the conflict in that area crucial for the success of the Green Deal. China, however, is one of the few other countries where these minerals can be found. Therefore, it is crucial for the EU to secure the partnership with Ukraine to obtain the necessary minerals for the Green Deal's success. That's why European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in September last year that Ukraine would have Europe's support for as long as it takes. During her September visit to Ukraine, since Russia invaded in February 2022, Ursula von der Leyen stated that Ukraine will always have their European friends by their side. Her visit coincided with a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese leader Xi Jinping in Uzbekistan, where they praised their strong ties in defiance of the West. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces, aided by Western weapons, have made gains against Russian forces in the east of the country. Von der Leyen's discussions with Ukraine's leaders focused on strengthening economic and people-to-people ties, and Ukraine has expressed its desire to join the European single market before considering full EU membership. The historic candidacy vote angered Moscow, which has tried to retain political and military influence in both countries since the collapse of the Soviet Union 3 decades ago. EU countries have staunchly supported Ukraine since Moscow invaded in February by hitting Russia with economic penalties. Although the prolonged conflict in East Ukraine is not solely attributable to the control of raw materials, it is undoubtedly a significant and insufficiently acknowledged factor in this war. Don't miss out on the latest geopolitical developments. Make sure to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on important updates and will be among the first to know about breaking news. Your support means everything to us, and we appreciate you joining us on this journey. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.